The OIS index is an ophthalmology industry stock index, which we launched 2 years ago at this meeting as a tool to track the investment performance of publicly traded small and mid-cap growth companies in ophthalmology. Over the past year, we've removed 2 companies from the index and added 6, most notably the recently rebranded Bausch Health, which brings the total number of companies to 35. The percentage of the index represented by ophthalmic device companies has grown over the past year from 25% to 35%, driven by strong gains by some of the device stocks, as well as the addition of Bausch. Ophthalmic biopharma makes up the remaining 65%. By any measure, the first year out of the gate was a rough one for the OIS index. The index lost 10% of its value during its first year, from October 2016 to 2017, while at the same time, all of the industry benchmarks, market benchmarks that we track, were up by mid-teens percentages. This underperformance was primarily the result of a number of high-profile pipeline setbacks. Turning the page and resetting the chart to look at second-year performance, we can see that the OIS index has come roaring back, particularly over the past 6 months. The number of advancing stocks and declining stocks were roughly equal over that period of time, but strong gains by a number of the stocks in the index really drove the overall index performance. The 3 top contributors to index performance, consistent with what Andrew just pointed out, were device stocks. STAAR Surgical more than tripled on positive revenue trends and FDA approval of the toric ICL. Glaukos doubled on its own second-generation product approval, as well as Alcon's CyPass stent withdrawal. And Carl Zeiss Meditech was rewarded for steady, broad-based growth. Other big gainers, but with a smaller impact on the index due to lower weightings within the index, were CalVista, iPoint, Aldera, and AGTC. Looking ahead to some of the key events that could drive the index over the next 6 months, both Adverum and Aldera plan to report important clinical data in the current quarter. iPoint has 2 major product launches early next year, YUTIQ and DEXYCU. Ocular Therapeutix has a December 28th PDUFA date for Dextenza, and also plans to report top-line phase 3 data for its travoprost plug. Aerie Pharmaceuticals has a March 14th PDUFA date for Rocklatan. Nightstar plans to complete phase 3 enrollment in the first half of next year. Molecular Partners, in collaboration with its partner Allergan, has important milestones related to DARPin therapy for both AMD and DME in the first part of next year. I think STAAR Surgical and Glaukos will have an important impact on index performance based on how they perform relative to recently raised expectations for both companies. And finally, Novartis plans to complete its spinoff of Alcon in the first half of next year, and we would expect to add this bellwether ophthalmic stock to the index at that time. As always, we invite your ideas and feedback regarding the index. Thank you.